episode number 9. We are on Central News, the TT hookup, the Free State Insider is a supporter. We're also being supported by the Unsaid Podcast with my brother, Tebogo Kotsi. Right now, we have the privilege of being joined by Mr. Mzwanele Nyhontso of the PAC, the president of the PAC. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm good, my brother, and I hope you're good.
No, we are doing well, and we really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, President, around the very important issues that are happening in our country. We appreciate the time that you're giving us. I just want us to get straight to the issues. You as the PAC, you have a stance on the public protector and the recent appointment of the public protector. What is the view of the PAC on the appointment of the public protector, Mrs. Koleka Gcaleka?
Our view is that Ms. Koleka Gcaleka is not a public protector. She is a president's protector. And she has proven herself when she decided to protect the president with Phala issue. When she decided to combine a clumsy report just to exonerate the president and from Phala saga. So that makes her not to qualify to protect the public. Maybe the problem is that she's not protecting the public and therefore she's not doing her job. Now, if public funds can be hidden, or funds, dollars, whatever, can be hidden under the mattresses, and she still feels that there was nothing wrong, then there's a problem with it. Another thing, she's also an activist. She was just recently an ANC Youth League active member. So you could see that she's just a deployee of the organization to protect the president of her own organization. That disqualifies her from being a public protector, rather a personal protector.
And she has been a deputy public protector for a long time. In that role as the deputy public protector, did you perceive any bias towards the president, or this only became eminent or clear now when she was the acting public protector and drafting the report that you say exonerated the president?
No, definitely when the public protector is active, you can't really see the role of the deputy. So when she became the acting public protector, that's when we could see that this one is just protecting the president or her organization. Or let me say, she was trying by all means to sabotage the reports of the public protector.
And because it sounds like you've got a strong view that this report that exonerated the president is legally and factually incorrect. If you have that view, do you not have the right as an organization to challenge that, to ask for a review, like a judicial review of that particular report?
No, I know there are parties who says they will challenge the report. As the PAC, we won't challenge it. We have stated our views. We have stated our views in Parliament. We have stated our views everywhere. We know that there's no need for us as PAC, they can others, to take the report to the judiciary. A judiciary system that is also a suspect. The judiciary that is also protecting the very same person. So we've stated our views. For us, it is for the masses of our people out there in the country to decide about the fate of the ruling party, not only of the individual who is the president, but the fate of the ruling party depends on the hands of the masses of our people next year in the ballot during elections. Yes.
Moving away from the public protector, the atrocities happening at the Gaza Strip in Palestine. What is the view of the PAC with regards to the Israeli-Palestine war?
Firstly, my brother, let me remind your viewers that in 1947 there was no state called Israel. 1947 and before, there was no state called Israel. There was only Palestine, a country that stretches between Egypt and the border of Iran on the other side. Now, Iraq, sorry. Now, the Israelites, it is true that they colonized Palestine. Truth is, the real terrorists in the Middle East is Israel, not the other way around. And we understand when we were fighting apartheid, we were called terrorists by white people who came here to usurp our land. Now, this is what is exactly happening in Israel. Israel is an apartheid state. And therefore, we are advocating not only for the expulsion or the removal of the Israeli ambassador in South Africa, but also for the closure of that embassy in this country. Also for this country is full of Israeli people. You can go to the airports everywhere in this country, you'll find Israelites working here, having businesses here with no proper papers to be here. But because they are white people, they are in charge of this country. But it is very difficult for us to visit Palestine. I was blocked when I wanted to go to Palestine. I was invited there. I was not going to Israel, but you are forced to touch down in Tel Aviv, in Israel. Now, they blocked me from going there, but they come in South Africa as and when they want to come. Now, that country is an apartheid state. Israel should be defeated. Palestine should fight until the last drop of their blood. Death to Israel.
Now, the South African government has called for a temporary removal of our diplomats in Israel. What do you think of that? Do you think it moves towards what
it is.
the PAC is calling for?
It is. I think let's welcome it. It is. It's a step in the right direction. The recall of our diplomats there, they must also expel the Israel ambassador here. And then they must go further and close the embassy of Israel and close the business, shut down all Israeli businesses in South Africa. Because Mossad is doing as they please here. They are running around this country. They are doing as they wish. We can't do that. We must always be on the side of the oppressed. We must always be on the side of the dispossessed, because they are fighting for their land, their right, their occupied land, and this is exactly what we are fighting for here in the occupied Azania.
Yeah. So you're also calling for the boycotts, disinvestments, and the sanctions against the state of Israel, because it is the one that is sponsoring the war there in the Middle East.
Everything about Israel must be shut down. There must be no Israel in South Africa. We must not even smell them here around. We must not have them. Those ones are greatest angels of Satan. They must not come here.
Practically on the ground, though, is the PAC found on the picket line in support of the Palestinian conflict, of the Palestinian struggle?
Everywhere we are. Even today, there's another meeting right now. Somebody is there representing PAC, who is Comrade Kasim Khan. There's a meeting that is planning a march this coming Saturday for the Premier of Western Cape against Israel in support of Palestinian people. We were in Cape Town last week handing over the memorandum with the petition with the comrades from Western Cape and other political organizations. We were supporting Israel. We were last week in Pretoria with other organizations, AZAPO and AAPRP, advocating for the Free Palestine activities. We were part of them. We were always part of them. Everywhere they go, we've always been with Palestine, and we are not apologetic about that. We support them.
Towards, in fact, in the wake of our democratic breakthrough after '94, when we were being readmitted into the general world, there was a call for the renaming and the removal of the symbols of the Springbok. And I see that now that call has been reawakened now by Julius Malema, the president of the EFF, saying that, let's do away with the Springboks, the colors and so on, because they represent apartheid. And it sounds to me that, as you're talking to me, that you also reject everything that, represents apartheid in our country. Do you think that it is correct to call for the, for the rebranding and, basically the rebranding of the national team, of the rugby national team?
No, that is correct. But let me take you back a bit. I mean, some of us who have been around. In 1992, when there were Olympics in Barcelona, it was only the PAC of Azania and under Clarence Marquette that was calling for a boycott of Barcelona Olympics. And our view was that there can be no normal sport in an abnormal society. And everybody was saying PAC was met. At least there's change. 1992, they were saying at least there was change. White people have changed. White people are better than they were before. And our view was that John Nyati Pogela taught us, the late PAC leader, that apartheid must not be reformed. It must be destroyed. You can't reform apartheid. And everybody was saying we're met. Come 1994, there were elections. We wanted not to participate. We were saying these elections were not going to bring freedom because we advocated for what we've always been known of, land. And we're saying land first and all shall follow. Give us our land, everything else will follow. Everybody was saying PAC was met because we did not want to be regarded as rebels or as people who are anti-progress when others could see the Canaan, the land of honey and milk. So we decided to do what others are doing and we participated in the elections. But fast forward, 30 years later, after the so-called democrats, everybody's saying what the PAC said as early as 1992 during Olympics. Now, I'm saying to you, it is true that the Springboks must be rebranded, and because they always represent that apartheid system. But for me, I've communicated with so many members of the PAC. I saw them supporting South African rugby. I saw them celebrating when South African rugby was winning. I saw them being sad when South African rugby was losing. All I'm trying to say is that whilst we must advocate for the rebranding of the logo, of the name Springboks, but as PAC, we were supporting South African rugby against New Zealand. But as individuals, others were supporting New Zealand, others were supporting Springboks. But I can't stand up and say, on behalf of the PAC, we don't support the South African rugby. I would be lying because I've seen members of the PAC supporting it.
So it is not the national team that you do not support. It is the emblem, the logo, and the colors. Because
no, that is true. It is the emblem and the colors, but the national team we do support. Remember, even now, in 1997, when they won the World Cup for the first time, we were saying, no, this team is white. They still represent white people. But that team is no longer all white. They are African people. Now, I can't say we don't support the team, but the logo and everything else, of course, must be reformed. But it goes back to what I was saying. If we had been given or have received a true liberation in 1994, if we had been attained the land repossession and restoration, everything was going to follow and everything was going to be right, including Springboks, Proteas, everything else that forms part of apartheid. Because the thing is, we reformed apartheid in 1994. We did not destroy it. We'll always have these things. And everybody else was celebrating and saying this was true freedom, except PAC.
Now to the PAC, like you recently had a campaign in Limpopo, in the presidential election campaign. How did that go for you? Can you give us more details on the campaign, the initiatives that you as the party undertook there in Limpopo?
No, it was a very great move that was initiated by PAC Josias Matsunya region in Vembe. We remember that region is the region of Josias Matsunya, a founder member of the PAC, and the only soldier of APLA who would always wear his coat even if it is winter, summer, autumn, springs, and a man who declared that a soldier only puts away his uniform when the war is over, but Azania is not yet free. Now, we also wanted to bring back Matsunya's name within the organization. So we went to that region. First thing we did was to declare it as Josias Matsunya region. Secondly, we visited Musina border in Bay Bridge. We also visited chiefs, local chiefs in Manenge villages, Chief Manenge, and so on. And we met with communities. People joined PAC. We spoke about the organization. We revived the organization. We revived the job that was done by Matsunya in that region and the late Maxwell Nemadzivanan. From there, the following day, we had a gala dinner with pastors, so many pastors of different denominations in Limpopo. We met with them, we addressed them, they asked questions, they all vowed to support the PAC come next elections. And the following day, I went to visit the King Mpepu Ramabulana of the vendor. And I can't say anything more. It was one of the best meetings I've ever had with the African royals, with his royal family. And we also talked to him. And from there, we had a big rally in Tohoyando, where we're telling members of the PAC to go and register and vote for PAC and protect PAC gains and make sure that PAC will never be the same again. And then we visited families of our stalwarts. We met around 10, 15 families of our late stalwarts. We revived them, and most of them are saying now, some of them were not even participating in the PAC, but they were saying now we're back, we want forms, we want t-shirts, we want to be back in this organization. But then we closed our tour in Limpopo by addressing the Agape Church with close to 3,000 people, telling them about the rise of the great ship of freedom, the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, and the need to change everything that is happening in South Africa through the ballot in 2024. And all I can tell you is that that was a success growing, as you know, for them about PAC. For the first time, cast and United Party. For the first time, you are no longer saying this party has got factions. We've graduated from that.